Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. Have you ever wondered how large Vietnam is in the world? Surely you have searched for information on many different sources, from social networks to newspapers, but sometimes those numbers may not be completely accurate because they are constantly updated. Let's explore the truth about Vietnam's location on the world map and compare our area with some typical countries. Vietnam, a country with many interesting geographical features, is not only famous for its achievements and special titles, but also possesses many impressive landscapes. To answer the question of how large Vietnam is in the world, these interesting things not only highlight the diversity and uniqueness of Vietnam's geography but also show the beauty and richness of nature here. Every landscape, every river, every mountain has its own story, creating a wonderful picture of our homeland. Let's explore and feel that beauty to better understand our beloved country. Before going into the content, remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. Vietnam overview. You must have wondered, where does Vietnam actually stand on the world map? Let's find out with specific and interesting information. Vietnam, with an area of nearly 332,000 square kilometers, is currently ranked 66th in the world in terms of area size. However, this number can change slightly depending on the calculation method. If you compare by country and territory criteria, as in the case of Greenland, Vietnam can drop one place, ranking 67th. This is because since 2011, when South Sudan became an independent country, the world area map has been adjusted, causing Vietnam to drop from the previous position of 65. So how does Vietnam's area compare to other countries? Compared to neighboring countries, Vietnam's area ranks right below Malaysia and right above Finland. These countries are only slightly larger than ours. Compared to larger countries, Vietnam's area is almost equal to Japan's and only half the area of Myanmar, another country in Southeast Asia. In particular, Vietnam is about 1/10 the area of India, a country famous for its large area and the largest population in the world. Compared to other famous countries, Vietnam's area is twice that of Uruguay, a South American country that has impressed at the World Cup and Copa America. Compared to Cuba, a country halfway around the world but very close in terms of emotions, Vietnam's area is 3 times that of Cuba. And if you think of Belgium in Europe, Vietnam is 10 times larger than this country. In addition to the above parameters, with a population of about 100 million people, Vietnam is not only outstanding in terms of area but also one of the most populous countries. The combination of area and population creates a diverse and rich picture of our homeland. Hopefully, through these numbers and comparisons, you will have a deeper and more interesting insight into the area of Vietnam on the world map. Borders with other countries. Vietnam, with its special geographical location, has a total land border length of up to 4,639 kilometers. This long border connects Vietnam with 3 neighboring countries, China, Laos and Cambodia. The northern border of Vietnam, adjacent to China, is 1,449.566 kilometers long. This is the longest border in Vietnam and is also a land with many rich historical and cultural imprints. The western border connecting Vietnam with Laos is 267 kilometers long. Although shorter than the border with China, it is still equally important in maintaining the connection and cooperation between the two countries. The southwestern border of Vietnam with Cambodia is 1,137 kilometers long. This is a border section that contributes significantly to the cultural and economic exchange between Vietnam and Cambodia. In addition to land borders, Vietnam also has a coastline of 3,260 kilometers, not to mention the length of the island coastline. This is not only an advantage in terms of trade and economic development, but also an attractive destination with many beautiful beaches and amazing natural landscapes. Each border and coastline of Vietnam contributes to the diverse and rich geographical picture of our country. These numbers are not just dry parameters but also evidence of the connection and interaction between Vietnam and neighboring countries, and are an invaluable resource for sustainable development in the future. Vietnam terrain. Vietnam, a beautiful tropical country, is famous for its diverse and rich terrain. One of the common features of our terrain is the predominance of mountains and hills. More than 3/4 of Vietnam's territory is mountainous, creating a wonderful and diverse natural picture. Majestic mountain ranges and lush green hills create a fascinating landscape. However, most of them are low mountains, with an altitude of mainly under 1,000 meters. These are the mountainous areas that we often see, with a round and soft shape, easily blending into the surrounding landscape. Only about 1% of Vietnam's territory is mountainous over 2,000 meters. These high and majestic peaks, such as Phan Xipang, the highest mountain in Vietnam, bring breathtaking beauty and challenge to those who love to explore. Besides the mountains, the remaining 1/4 of Vietnam's area is fertile plains, such as the Red River Delta and the Mekong River Delta. These lands are the focus of many economic and cultural activities, playing an important role in the lives of the people. To help you visualize more clearly, let's explore the extreme points of Vietnam, marking the 4 directions north, south, east, west. The northernmost point, Ca Mau Cape, the first place to welcome the sunlight in the north of Vietnam. The southernmost point, Dat Cape, located in the southernmost part of the country, where we feel the intersection between land and sea. The easternmost point, Hon Dai, the place to welcome the earliest sunlight in the east of Vietnam. The westernmost point, Mung Nhe, located in the westernmost part of the country, blends in with the wild and mysterious beauty. Each extreme point, each mountain range, each plain contributes to the diversity and attractiveness of Vietnam's terrain. These are not just dry numbers but parts of a great picture, where nature and people blend to create a colorful and vibrant Vietnam. Red River Delta, Vietnam. Let's explore one of the most special lands of Vietnam, the Red River Delta and the Tay Binh River Delta, located in the north of our country. This is not only an important geographical area but also a place that has witnessed strong population and economic development. The Red River Delta stretches across 11 provinces and cities, forming a large land area of about 21,259.94 square kilometers, accounting for nearly 1/6 of the total area of the country. This is home to about 22 million people, with the highest population density in Vietnam, reaching an average of about 1,450 people per square kilometer. In particular, this land is not only a residential center but also a solid foundation for the country's economy. The people living there are mainly Kin people, with a few Hmong communities in Ba Vai, Hanoi and No Quan, Ninh Binh. These ethnic groups not only contribute to the cultural identity of the region but also play an important role in community development. Although the delta has some mineral resources, they are not abundant and not very prominent. It is estimated that there are about 8.8 billion tons of brown coal, which is the most significant mineral resource in the region. Natural gas is also explored and exploited in Tien Hai, Tay Binh, but not on a large scale. However, the Red River Delta is notable for its rich agricultural land, which accounts for more than half of the total area of the region. This is the fertile land that nurtures crops and provides important food for the country. With the perfect combination of fertile land and bustling urban development, the Red River Delta is not only the cradle of Vietnamese civilization but also a strong driving force for the economic and social development of the whole country. Let's be proud of the richness and potential of this special land, where tradition and modernity blend to create a vibrant Vietnam. Mekong Delta. Discover a land full of color and potential, the Mekong Delta, also known as the Mekong Delta or simply the West. This is one of the most important regions of Vietnam with outstanding and attractive features. The Mekong Delta is vast, with an area of up to 40,000 square kilometers, nearly double the area of the Red River Delta. This is a large and rich land, notable for 2 centrally governed cities, Can Tho City and Ho Chi Minh City, 2 important economic centers of the country. However, the population of the Mekong Delta is smaller than that of the north, with a population of about 5 million people. Although the population is not too large, this land plays an extremely important role in the economy of Vietnam. One of the main strengths of the Mekong Delta is rice export, with output accounting for 90% of the country's total rice export. This land is also famous for its seafood, accounting for about 60% of Vietnam's total seafood export. These products not only contribute to the national economy but also reach out to the world, affirming Vietnam's position on the global agricultural export map. However, in terms of per capita income, the Mekong Delta is still lower than the national average. This shows that although this land has a lot of potential and makes great contributions to the economy, there are still many opportunities to develop and improve people's lives. With the combination of rich natural resources and a dynamic economy, the Mekong Delta is not only a fertile land but also an important development center of Vietnam. Highest mountain in Vietnam. Let's explore one of the great extremes of Vietnam's geography, Phan Xipang Peak, the highest mountain not only in Vietnam but also in Indochina. Located on the Hoang Lian Sun Range, Phan Xipang Peak towers with an exact height of 3,147 meters above sea level. This is a number that we have long been familiar with. However, the latest research and measurements have shown that Phan Xipang Peak is actually slightly higher than the old figure, with an actual height of 3,147.3 meters. This figure is 4.3 meters higher than the measurement data of French researchers in 1995. The reason for this change lies in the development of measurement technology over time and the continuation of the Himalayas, where the Hoang Lian Sun Range, of which Phan Xipang Peak is a part, has an annual elevation of about 2 to 3 centimeters. Therefore, Phan Xipang Peak continues to rise, affirming the title of Roof of Indochina. The journey to conquer Phan Xipang Peak is not easy and there is no exact information about the first person to set foot on the peak. The first records of Phan Xipang Peak mainly come from French explorers, who made arduous journeys to measure and explore this mountain range. Phan Xipang Peak is not only the highest peak in Vietnam but also a symbol of the strength and resilience of nature. With its majestic beauty and the challenges it brings, Phan Xipang has become an ideal destination for those who love to explore and conquer nature. Let's admire and feel the magnificent beauty of the Roof of Indochina, where the majesty of nature and the spirit of conquest blend together to create an unforgettable image in everyone's heart. The longest mountain range in Vietnam. Continuing the journey to discover the special features of Vietnam's geography, we cannot help but mention the longest mountain range in the country, the Trong Son Range. The Trong Son Range is a majestic symbol of Vietnam's nature, stretching nearly 1,100 kilometers from north to south, like a solid shield along the central region of the country. With its continuous and unceasing length, Trong Son runs along the coast, from the high, steep mountains in the east, to the narrow coastal plains. The Trong Son Range is not only outstanding in length but also in height. On average, this mountain range is from 2,000 to 2,600 meters high, forming a solid natural border between Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia. With its majestic beauty and diverse terrain, the Trong Son Range is known as the backbone of the Indochina Peninsula. The Trong Son mountain range is divided into the North Trong Son and the South Trong Son, each with its own distinct topographical features. This division not only shows the diversity of the landscape but also creates challenges and mysteries in exploration. Along the Trong Son Range, you will encounter many dangerous mountain passes, notably Hai Van Pass, and Ki Pass and Sa Mu Pass. These passes are not only significant challenges for adventure lovers but also outstanding highlights of the mountain landscape, offering spectacular and impressive natural scenes. The Trong Son Range is not only a long mountain range but also an important part of Vietnamese history and culture. With its majestic beauty and the perfect combination of nature and people, Trong Son continues to be a strong symbol of the vitality and endurance of our country. Let's explore and feel the greatness of Trong Son Range, where nature and people blend to create a beautiful and vibrant picture. Longest river in Vietnam. Discovering the beauty of Vietnam's majestic rivers, we cannot help but mention the country's longest river, Dong Nai River. In Vietnam's territory, thousands of large and small rivers flow through, creating a dense and rich river network. Along the coast, there is a river mouth every 20 kilometers, which makes our country's waterway transportation system very convenient and developed. Among the prominent rivers, the Red River in the north and the Mekong River in the south are the two most important river systems. Both originate in China, but today, we will focus on the longest inland river in Vietnam, Dong Nai River. Dong Nai River stretches 586 kilometers, flowing through 10 provinces and cities in the south, playing an important role in water resources, electricity sources and waterway transportation. The river originates from the Lam Vien Plateau in Lam Dong Province, and winds through rich lands before emptying into the sea in Can Tho City. The Dong Nai River is not only the longest inland river in Vietnam but also an essential part of the region's infrastructure system. It provides water for agricultural, industrial and domestic activities, and generates important electricity thanks to hydroelectric projects along the river. Moreover, the Dong Nai River is also an important traffic route, connecting many areas and facilitating the transportation of goods. Phu Quoc Island is the largest island in Vietnam and also the largest island in the Gulf of Thailand. Located in this beautiful bay, Phu Quoc is not only notable for its area but also for its rich beauty. With an area of about 573 square kilometers, Phu Quoc Island is 50 kilometers long and about 25 kilometers wide at its widest point. This island has an area equivalent to about 2/3 of the area of Singapore and twice the area of Guam, USA. With its impressive location and area, Phu Quoc is the center of Phu Quoc Island City, under Kian Giang Province, along with neighboring small islands and Tho Chu Archipelago. Known as a tourist paradise, Phu Quoc attracts visitors with its fine white sand beaches, clear blue water and rich ecosystem. Moving to the north, we have Ba Bi Lake, the largest natural lake in Vietnam. The lake is located in Bac Can Province, with an area of about 6.5 square kilometers. Ba Bi Lake is not much larger than West Lake in Hanoi, but it has its own unique features. The name, Ba Bi, comes from the fact that the lake is divided into 3 large parts, called Pi Lam, Pi Lu and Pi Leng, connected by narrow waterways. Surrounding Ba Bi Lake are majestic limestone mountains, with many caves and underground streams, creating a beautiful and mysterious natural landscape. The average depth of the lake is about 20 to 25 meters in the rainy season, but can be reduced to only 10 meters in the dry season. Ba Bi Lake is not only famous for its natural beauty but also an important part of the cultural life of the Tay people in Bac Can. Festivals, legends and stories about the lake have become an indispensable part of the local cultural heritage. Ba Bi Lake and Phu Quoc Island both carry unique and important values of Vietnam, from majestic natural beauty to deep connections with culture and history. Finally, let's look back at a special page of history about the territorial area of Vietnam through the ages. During the Nguyen dynasty, under the reign of King Minh Mang, the territorial area of Vietnam reached an impressive peak. At that time, the territory of Vietnam was up to 575,000 square kilometers, 1.7 times larger than the current area. It was a period when the territory of Vietnam not only expanded to the Indochina region but also covered almost the entire peninsula with profound political influences and characteristics. Under the Minh Mang dynasty, the territory of Vietnam included the land of present-day Laos and most of the territory of Cambodia. The Nguyen dynasty organized and managed these lands by dividing them into many prefectures and districts and sending Vietnamese officials to rule. The lands of Cambodia were annexed and named Tay Than Town, which demonstrated the expansion and strong influence of the Minh Mang dynasty. To reflect the greatness and power of the nation, Minh Mang changed the country's name from Vietnam to Dai Nam. The name Dai Nam not only represents the expansion of the territory but also means, the vast and powerful country in the south. This is a clear demonstration of the pride and glory of the nation during this historical period. Hopefully the story of the expansion of the territory and the change of the name of Vietnam in history will bring you interesting and useful information about the geography of our beautiful country. Thank you for your interest and following this story. If you find it interesting, please share this video with more people so that we can explore and understand more about our homeland Vietnam. And now, goodbye and see you again in the next stories.